One of the big questions we always get is why we chose to do personalized learning when we did. And that was not a me decision, that was a us decision. As a group of teachers, when we were first introduced to this, we all sat down together and we're trying to think of ways, as we do every summer, of how to improve our school. And as we were sitting through Leadership Summit when this was first introduced, we all pretty much unanimously decided that this was the approach that we were going to have to take in order to meet all the needs that our students were going to need over the foreseeable future. With the jobs that they're looking for and the bar that they're trying to meet now, our old way of doing business just wouldn't work. So we all as a group decided that this was the way we would move forward as a leadership team. And from there we went on to start putting it into practice, to start making our plans, start doing our professional learnings, start changing the practices in the building. Now, what does that mean for our teachers as far as practices they do? Well, it's a lot of learning. That's why it's an actual 5-year plan we have. It's because we knew it would be a major shift for our teachers. Not that our teachers were doing a bad job to begin with, but they've got a new bar to reach, so we've got to do things differently in order to meet that bar. They have to shift from being the sole gatekeepers of knowledge into more facilitators of it. We have to get our teachers to think more of being problem givers instead of answer givers, because that's what we're really trying to facilitate into our kids, that they can be their own independent, critical thinking, creative kids that can solve issues that come up, whether it involve math, language, arts, science, or social studies, and not just regurgitate facts that we put out like we've done for so long.
Personalized learning has completely changed my students' motivation for learning. Before, they participated more because of outside factors, and now their goals drive their learning. Through self-assessment and teacher feedback, they know where they are with the skills, and if they need more work on a skill or if they've reached mastery. And it's because of that self-assessment and teacher feedback and goals, it gives them a purpose for their lessons and their stations. I haven't had any issues really with motivation since we've begun implementing our plan. Everyone's involved and excited and participating because they know they need to reach their goals. I've even seen the conversations change from focusing on their grade to focusing more on what have I done well and what do I still need to work on. And that's been a great change to see, and even seeing that they know it's a positive thing to be aware of where they are, even if it's not quite proficient yet. It's been a slow change, but we're getting there and we're still working on it. I've even seen student ownership resonate outside of academics. I now have students that lead the morning meetings and lead our weekly community meetings, and it's been really amazing to see students share their ideas and opinions about their school and community.
Ola, and today I will talk about personalized learning. Personalized learning is a way that you learn to benefit yourself. And we started setting goals in 5th grade. We set goals, and they have to be SMART goals. They have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. When having a SMART goal, you have to have an action plan to go along with it. So what actions are you going to do in order to achieve that goal? And action plans help you achieve the goal by doing things that will relate to the goal.
I'm thrilled that our county as a whole is thinking of education in a personal way, where we recognize our strengths and our weaknesses, and we create a plan to educate children in the best way possible. And as a special educator, I'm especially thrilled about it because all of my students have significant strengths, and so many times we focused on their weaknesses only. When we make their education plan, that it's going to be more inclusive. The way I write an individualized education plan is going to change tremendously. Much of what I do for them will be an accommodation or differentiation, and they will be in that inclusive environment instead of separated from their peers. I will be able to meet their needs in small groups through that dynamic classroom model in a way that the student recognizes where they need to grow. They're going to be able to do that without an adult making all the decisions for them. They're going to start taking ownership in a way where when they're graphing their own data, when they're talking to their parent and telling them how they're doing in a particular area, they won't focus solely on their weaknesses. They're going to focus on their strengths and their growth, and that's an exciting place to be.
Project-based learning for writing, when we did it, is when we had to make a paper about what we wanted to do for the art party. And my opinion was it was really fun because everybody was competing against each other, and there's like 100 and some kids, and there's a lot of brains, and some of them are really, really smart, and they can think of a really good idea, so everybody wanted to make the art party.
The project helped me learn how to manage my money better, and so I know like how to run things on a budget and how to do tax and stuff like that, so when I'm older I can use it.